So hey everybody, welcome to our TLB networking event. Well, we've been doing the TLB Club for a couple of years now, but we actually, we thought, well, why don't we start doing some networking events and bring people in, just chat with each other and get to know each other on a deeper level. I mean, even the members of the community of the TLB Club themselves may not know everybody on a more deeper level. So we're going to do some kind of fun networking activities. That's kind of the plan today, guys. And it's about getting to know each other. So this is a larger group. Obviously, it's going to be hard for us to talk to all of us in the group. So far, there's 50 people registered, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to break you into smaller groups, and then we're going to come back here and kind of reflect on some of the things that are going on. And so we're going to break into two groups, smaller groups twice, and then we're going to come back, regroup with the larger group, and then of course, we can have a free for all about anything that people want to talk about or share, and that's kind of how we want to do it. All right. So, and the first part is going to be more. The first breakout group is going to be more about just kind of deep conversations with folks and really get to know each other better. And the second group will be more talking about business and career and some of the things that you're trying to do. So that's kind of, and then of course, I'll talk a bit about TLB Club, and I'll talk a bit about now, I'll do more of it later, but basically Thought Leadership Brand Club started on Clubhouse many years ago when we started doing rooms in Clubhouse. And pretty soon we started getting lots of people doing rooms on different areas of expertise, and the club grew to like 37,000 members. And of that, there was a core 50 to 100 people who were doing rooms and coming all the time. And then after the Clubhouse kind of dwindled up, we got back to our regular lives, scheduled lives. We started getting together with Zoom calls, and pretty soon we decided to launch a membership community, which launched last year. And the idea was, look, how do we provide value to people that are here? Most people want help with their business. They want help with their career. They want help with their branding. And they want help with their storytelling and content creation and things like that. And a lot of people want to help with running audio rooms or live streams. And so from that, I started running weekly coaching calls, and we started running guest speakers, because I have a large network on LinkedIn. I'm a LinkedIn top voice. I have 47,000 followers, and I've built a strong brand out there across all social media. And so I started bringing in all the people that I knew. And so we started doing guest speakers. And so what we have now is we now have a weekly coaching call. We have a weekly Zoom training call with somebody. And then we have a LinkedIn group where people can ask questions, ask for feedback on something, share goals, share wins, share challenges. And then we have a WhatsApp group where we just have random conversations. Like today, Lynn had an issue with her audio room. She's like, Bobby, I can't get on. What's going on? And next thing you know, three of us are giving her pointers on how to fix it. And that's kind of what we did. So there's a power of being part of a membership community. I'm part of two other ones as well, but this is the one that that I started and running with some amazing people on the leadership team, like Melanie, Heather, let's see, Roy, Lynn, Rachel's not here. So yeah, we have a great leadership team as well. So so that's a little TLB Club. What I'm going to do now is, anybody have any questions before we get started? Anybody want to share something that's exciting? That I'm totally open to a couple of quick comments before we go. No, you're like, okay, well, what do I have that's like, what's exciting to me? What is exciting? I don't know. What is exciting? Okay, well, that's fine. We will break into groups because I think that's the best part of this networking session. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break you into smaller groups. Now looks like there's about, how many people we have here? 28. So we'll try to have 4 rooms of 6 or 7 people. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna randomly, and during the pandemic, I guess you didn't know this, my speaker business collapsed, and I became a virtual producer. So I'm quite familiar with the tools of Zoom. So I'm going to do some breakout rooms right now, and we're going to create, let's see, four breakout rooms, and I'm going to, there we go. All right, and here we go. I'm going to assign this automatically. Now here you go. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, so rooms have been made. I'm going to open the room. You're going to go in, and then one of our facilitators are going to join each of the rooms. So we have Roy's already going to be in room 3, and then I'm going to send Heather and Melanie into the other rooms. Then I'll join one of the other rooms. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you a series of questions to answer. There's 3 questions we want you to start with, and we'll go with that. We'll do this for about 10 minutes. Okay? Anybody have any questions on this? Okay, let's just try this, see what happens. Open all the rooms. Here we go. Rooms are now open, and then I'm going to assign Heather to. I'm going to assign Heather to number 2. Okay, Heather, I'm assigning number 2, and then sorry, I think I just assigned Melanie to number 2. And let's see, Heather, I'll send you to, let's see here. I'll send you to room 4. There we go. You should be assigned somewhere. Is that cool? Heather's there, Roy's there. Where did Melanie go? Melanie is in. There we go.
So we so we are an AI-powered sales business that works with B2B businesses to pack their calendar on autopilot using AI. So pretty much what we do is just pretty much handle any person's back end when it comes to helping them find new clients and just getting them on calls with them. So all they need to worry about is just closing them and just getting them fulfilled and keeping them happy. So yeah, that's what I do.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for getting in here. So I actually am not going to be the host of this room, but I'm actually going to hand over the reins to my friend Joey over here because I know he's capable. So in the chat box, I put in 3 questions. Do you see them? There's 3 questions in the chat box. And Joey, what I'd love for you to do is to facilitate a discussion with everyone here to share. And you can introduce yourself, like Christian was doing. That's great. But also get people to talk about and share and answer these questions. And then when we come back to the larger room, I'm gonna get a few folks to kind of share what are some of the things that they found out about each other. Does that sound
Yeah,
good?
sure.
All right, off you go. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, sure. Thank you, Bobby. All right, everybody else.
Hey, Bobby. So currently you're muted.
I said, hey, Christopher Johnson, I'm happy to have you. I'm currently the virtual producer here. So thanks for joining us today. I'm going to send you to a room, okay?
That's fine.
Okay, see, you're used to this. What's it feel like being on the other end? Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Room number 3. Alexa, stop. You have 1 minute left. 1 minute left.
Hey, Bobby.
Hey there, how are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Good, good. I'm going to send you to a room. I'll send you.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Let's see where your wife is. Let's send you to her.
You can send me to her room. That's fine.
Where's the wife? Okay, I'm sending it. There you go.
Thanks, Bobby.
No problem. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, they're coming back. Hey,
Yeah,
how'd it go, Tom?
it's great.
Yeah. Okay.
The only person I knew was Melanie, so it was fun.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. And did you learn anything interesting from anybody?
Yeah, actually, people's, their proudest moments was very interesting, particularly people celebrating their own educational efforts and achieving, that.
That's great. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks everybody for being so patient with that. Okay, I want to make sure everyone's muted. All right, so I'd love to hear from the different rooms in terms of what are some of the key highlights of things you shared. Does anybody want to share who was in room 1? Was there a leader of room 1 that
That
wants to
was
share?
me. That was me, Bobby.
Joey, go for it. Well, you or anybody else can share something. I'd love to hear.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was all over the place. Sense of humor. People were most proud of things that happened in their lives that were personal, that had to do with family. I mean, it really runs the gamut. It was really interesting that nobody repeated themselves other than me and Barbara. But I just found that people were open and forthcoming, if you will, and it was just cool to hear about and see people in a different light and hear about the things that they've done and the things that they look in other people for. So it's cool. It's a good experience. Thanks.
Let's hear from someone from that room. Anyone else in that room like that want to share something that they enjoyed about the conversation? From room in Joey's room. Remember Joey? You can't remember.
I
You
have to
can't
say,
Yeah.
I learned about Joey. Joey's got a soft spot. You'll have to chat with him to figure out what it is, but it involves babies in hospitals. I'm just saying.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Let's go to who's leading room number 2. Was it Melanie? Melanie, go ahead. Wait, I can't hear you, Melanie.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So it was fun to get, I knew everybody in our room, but like, for example, Alan and I do career coaches on call every Tuesday, never seen each other face to face before. Have a lot of same folks, but we also had TLB Club members that I got a chance just to get a little bit of glimpse, and Michelle and Adrian, of course, got to see Mr. Simpson. So because he has his following on LinkedIn, so which is so he made an appearance. So it was good.
Good. Anyone else from that room want to share a thought or something they like that someone said? Be ready to unmute to share, because I'm going to ask the same question with group number 3 and 4. Geez, Mel, you may have to volunteer somebody. What's going on? Who's in your group? I have no idea.
Tom.
Sorry.
I'll speak.
Michelle's going to say something. Go ahead, Michelle.
I think the two big things that were spoken about as the proudest moments were related to like family and or career. So, whether they achieved a degree, or, children and getting married, those things were two common responses.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, obviously the most personal aspects of our lives that where we spend a lot of our time, whether it's relationships, kids, family, or work, are obviously going to come up. So I totally get that. Let's go to room number 3. Who was in charge of room number 3?
I wouldn't say I was in charge, but I was in room number 3.
Okay, but Roy, go ahead, go for it.
So as I was, as I am a little bit different in the world, I call it dare to be different. So the question that I asked everyone was, what do you want to achieve by coming to a networking event like this? So I'd like to ask 1 or 2 people that were in the room to share it. Maybe let's start with Lisa as an example.
Yes, thank you, Roy. What I took away from this was Roy's challenge to us is when we go to an event like this, tell people what you're looking for, tell people what you need. And this made me think about, I have a placard on my desk and it says, "You have not because you ask not." And it's a great reminder to me that when I walk away from something or whatever it is in the day, if I start grumbling that I don't have something or I don't have a connection, well, did I ask for it? People can't read your mind. So I really appreciated that, Roy.
Was there another person in your group, Roy, who wants to share something? That was great.
I'd like to ask Sandra, because she's one of the kindest people that I know, and I'd love to get her view of what she took away.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sandra. So what I took away from it was Roy and a lot of people that were in the room, excuse me, Roy mentioned that he didn't know that I was actually volunteering for the homeless industry. Did you hear me?
Yeah, continue. Go ahead.
Okay. So he didn't know I was volunteering for the homeless community. And he suggested, which was nice of him, to let everybody know, what I'm looking for, because nobody knew I was a job seeker either. And looking for next opportunity.
Awesome.
Thank you, Sandra. I just wanted to say, Bobby, that, isn't that the essence of networking, is that we come away with something. Sorry to jump in.
No, it's fine. I absolutely. And, one of the reasons why I want to network with you guys is, and the way I've set it up actually is the first part is for getting to know you guys on a more deeper level. And then the next to the round, I want you to start thinking about what you're trying to get, what you're trying to learn. So that's also a place for you to really talk about those questions that I have prepared for you guys, which is great. Let's go to group number 4. Heather, how'd it go?
Yeah, well, I feel like right away we were finding things we had in common with each other, which was fun. Bob also has a journalism degree like I have, and both Bob and David share a love of storytelling with me. So, but yes, anyone from my group want to jump in and share your takeaways?
Yeah, hey, this is David. I was really just impressed with Linda's just passion about giving back. Heather asked if we didn't have any, I'm paraphrasing, but responsibilities, or what was it? Linda said she
Obligations.
obligations. Thank you. Yeah, Linda said she would just give back. That's what she would focus on. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you. And I loved hearing about what everybody is doing and what they're looking for. It was really interesting to me to hear some of those commonalities because it starts to build those relationships that we're all talking about. It's not just sharing names and numbers in effect. It's becoming people.
That's awesome. And I actually didn't get to go to the room because I forgot that we had to have somebody back here bringing people in. So that's when Josh showed up and I threw him into Heather's room because, they're married and they don't spend enough time together. So I think that's important to have virtual time together as a couple. But anyway, one of the things that I was thinking about is I didn't answer the question, but I will share one thing which is related to something that came up on LinkedIn. Kevin Turner, if you know who he is, he did a poll today on LinkedIn about, how much money do you need to leave LinkedIn forever? Right. And it was interesting because some people are like, I just said, well, listen, if I had $10 million a year in perpetuity, then yeah, I would probably not be on LinkedIn anymore. I'd be traveling the world, visiting friends and doing lots of other things, investing in movies or whatever it might be. I was like, I don't need to be here for that. I'd just be having fun. And some people are like, well, no, LinkedIn is my life and I have to be here. I'm like, well, yeah, but so, I mean, it's really hard for us to really imagine if we had no obligations. Because let's say, for argument's sake, I was getting $10 million a year in perpetuity. I probably would buy my mom a house, and I probably, instead of hanging out on LinkedIn, I would go visit Melanie in Baltimore, and I'd go visit Roy in Australia, and I'd go visit, Ed in the US. And I travel around visiting you guys and taking them for lunch. And we wouldn't be on LinkedIn. We'd be talking to each other in person. And at some point, Melanie would post about her lunch, and Ed would say something on LinkedIn. But I'd be off gallivanting to Australia to talk to Roy. So.
It was literally $1,000 for 7 days a week for the next 14 years, and I'm good.
Yeah, like my dream is to make movies. If I had no obligations, I would probably try to become an actor, do movies, play the funny next door neighbor of some ridiculous movie. That's probably what I would want to do with my time.
And we would definitely be going to Roy in Australia. I mean, I love Baltimore, but if we're choosing, we're not choosing Baltimore.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm in the front row at the moment for the first visit from one of you.
Yes. You know it. I'm just showing up one day. So.
Well, you can all come to Canada because the Canadian dollar is just, really, really economical. So there's a few. Who are the Canadians here? Hands up, any Canadians? Okay,
Tanya's here.
All right, we got a few Canadians. Okay, good, good, because we love Canada and our nice weather, which is great. Today's like Sandals Day. All right. Well, before we get to round two, anybody else want to share anything that they thought was really? I mean, virtual networking, of course, is hard, but maybe I'd love to hear from a few of you in terms of what brought you here today. Like, why'd you want to come by to this networking event today, virtually?
I wanted to force myself to show up on screen and say hello to strangers and be here and be present, which is sometimes is hard to do when we're doing all the things. So sometimes it's an act of fear, of overcoming fear and courage too, even with those of us who are supposed to be kind of good at this. So that's all. Glad to be here.
No, I agree. I mean, as someone who's a lifelong networker, virtual is harder for sure for me than in person. I mean, if you guys were all here in my apartment, we'd sit on the sofa and we play karaoke or some video games, on my Nintendo Switch with the golf and the bowling. I think we'd have a heck of a good time. But it's different when you do the virtual thing. Anyone else want to share what brought them here today?
Sure, I'll share. No, I think again, it's just like, I love the things that are definitely, being part of the LinkedIn mystery rooms, just the vibe in the community that all behind it too. And especially it's been a while since I've not really done a virtual networking event, but when I did do Toastmasters in the past, like I did give some speeches on video. And I just like to practice too, and and that stuff as well too. So again, what's great about this too, you get to see people's faces too. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Awesome, thanks. And yeah, I know that Heather says she loves Toastmasters, and a lot of people do that for sure. Okay, good. Well, listen, I think let's go to another round of networking. This one's going to be the questions here, and now of course it's going to be a brand new bunch of people. So it's going to be mixed up, right? So it's not going to be the same people in your room. So it's basically random what we put together here. So what will happen is I'll give you, and I'm trying to find where's my list of questions? Find my questions that I have. Oh, here we go. There we go. I'm just going to find that. And what I'm going to do, and Joey, I'm going to send you the list of questions as well so that you can bring that up. But it looks like I can probably join a room too, so I think we're okay. So now we're going to randomly put together a room. Here we go. And oh, I see. Look at that. I'm going to recreate the rooms. Okay. And there we go. We'll recreate rooms. And hopefully this is a different group of people. I'm not sure if it's mixing them up properly, but we'll see what happens. Let me just check. Okay, great. So I'm going to open the rooms, and you guys will go, and then I'll send in your co-host to help help run things. There we go. And actually, let's see. So Roy is in which room? He's in number 2. Okay, and Heather, I'll put you in room number 1. And Melanie, I'll put you in room number 3. And I'll go into room number 4. Okay. So did you guys get your notifications? Just, yeah, head on in.
Oh, the pros.
Hey guys, all right, I'm here. And actually I forgot that Joey's in the room. So I'm going to share the questions for you. So thanks everybody for being here. And let's start with the question, which is, first question is, why is community important to you? And anyone can answer, but I'd love to hear from everybody in the room. Why is community important to you?
How many days do we have?
Well, give me your top 17 to 50, reasons.
Yeah. You can't get anywhere by yourself, honestly. It doesn't work. And I crave perspective, and having people I know and trust that give me different points of view help me recognize the reality of when I'm onto something and when I'm, getting wrapped around the wheel, so to say. So, and it's just, there's no substitute for feeling like I got a place I can go where I know no matter what, there's folks there that accept me for who I am, and, we're going to feel better when we're done than we did coming in.
That's great. Chris, what do you think?
Community is a place of connection and belonging. So it's somewhere community is someplace I can relax. I can just be, as opposed to being quote unquote on. I can relax and just be who I am in a community of shared trust and relationships. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I think I have a persona on LinkedIn and Twitter and all the social platforms. And then when they see me here, they say, Bob, you seem pretty chill. And I'm like, yeah, I am, man. I'm like, I mean, sure, my videos, but hey, have you ever thought about doing a TED Talk? But, like when I'm here, it's pretty chill. It's pretty chill. So anyone else want to share? Just open, anybody wants to share.
Yeah, Bobby, I would say
So let's go to Josh, and we'll go to Michelle.
Okay. I would say as a job seeker, it can really be really easy to feel like you're alone, especially, if you're working, you're in a Slack group or whatever with people, and you're constantly asking people for things, or people asking you for things, or, whatever. But without that sort of work community, the 9 to 5 hours can seem really lonely. And so to have a community of people who maybe are going through the same things that you are, or just want to help. Just gives me it gives you just like a little less anxiety, like there are people out there who are looking out for me, and who care about me. And that's something that's really important in a time where there's a lot of uncertainty. So yeah, it's part of the reason why I came today.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Michelle, go ahead.
I think one of the things that I love is just the opportunity to connect with diverse thinking and experiences and things, even in the things that we can specialize in. I think about how many people here are career coach people, and I spent 20 years in that world. So I feel like I know a lot, but they have so much to offer in those other spaces. So that you can deepen your knowledge, but also kind of get it kind of the breadth there too, is what I love, is you find out or how those connections can translate across industries or opportunities, or just how those human to human connection points can have such a ripple effect. So those are just, the human part is just critical.
Chris, are you going to say something? Go ahead.
I was. It looks like you're trying to broadcast. I don't know that you can broadcast from within a room.
Oh, okay.
We saw the message.
Okay. You're the Zoom expert, so you would know that. That's fine. Let me go. Josh, I want to ask you a question though, because I was curious if you know why Heather likes us so much, because she's really fantastic and she's always been very loyal to me, and she keeps coming by and she's really supportive. And sometimes it's curious, like maybe you have another perspective. Like, what has she said about being part of the community? What does she like about it?
What's not to love, Bobby?
Well, then you'd be here every day.
I think that she loves connection. She loves connecting to people. She's a storyteller. She loves, not only telling stories, but I think listening to stories. And she's found a really great little, niche community with the TLB Club. I think it kind of goes to what a lot of people have been saying, especially, Chris and Bob, right? Like, diverse sort of perspective, and really like to diversify your worldview. I mean, that's what it's all about. And I think she's found like a community of people who clearly are looking out for her, and she's looking out for them, and that's what community is all about.
All right, cool. And I want to jump to the next question, and I'll start with Sandra and Tanya. But basically, I'm putting them into one question. So, what is something that you think this group or this community can help you with? What would that be? And the second thing is, what do you think you would contribute or add? Like, what's something you would add to the community? Because I think what happens is I get a lot from people, but I also give to people. So I thought we'd start with that. So maybe I'll start with Tanya, and then we'll go to Sandra.
Well, I think the receiving part has already been covered, like you get introduced to a whole lot of new perspectives and new people, and you get to increase your circle and learn from a whole bunch of people. And I guess on the sharing side, it's kind of almost the same thing, because when you are in a reciprocal relationship with people, it's you just, so as long as you're in dialogue, then you can exchange information, and then that does enrich both sides of the interlocutors. So that's what I would say.
Got it. Thank you. Sandra, what do you think?
Oh my goodness. The first question, what do I see in this community?
Well, what is something that you could use help with from a community or a group? And then what is something that you would want to add to contribute to a group?
So what I can add to the group is try to show that compassion and giving back. For kind of like forget about myself and worry about other people type of deal.
Right.
And what can help me with is learning more about the networking and connecting with me as a job seeker, trying to put myself out there is a little different than before. You could just walk into a building and tell your story, tell who you are. And now it's more online and you have to. So the point I'm trying to make is like the pandemic made me, I'm an extrovert, I'm an outgoing, I like being around people, but the pandemic made me an introvert. And now it's like I'm learning everything all over again.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, I thought I'd be a part of this community because it's the community part, the compassion. You guys care about people and giving back to people. And I figure that this would be what better way to be around you guys to help me get out and try to share what I'm looking for as a job seeker.
That's
You
great.
see what I'm
Thank you.
saying?
Yeah, totally. Thanks, Sandra. Hey,
You're
Bob.
welcome.
Bob, what do you think? What were your thoughts on this?
So I always approach a group like this from the perspective of either I'm going to hear someone speak that I'm interested in hearing that I haven't heard before, or I'm going to meet people I've never met before. And as long as either one of those is fulfilled, then I'm happy, because this is how I've been connecting with people. I've become better friends with some of the people I've met in transition than some of the people I worked with for more than 20 years. So it's really just, finding the people that are out there that I never knew that I needed to know. Uh, and I love to reciprocate. I really do enjoy finding a way to figure out, it's like that old game show, match game. It's like, okay, remember I met this guy here, and this person said she needs help, and it's like, wait a minute, those two match. Holy crow, I gotta connect them. So I love doing that. I love figuring out, you need to talk to this person. You're both going to benefit, and I'd say I'm right more often than I'm wrong. So doesn't happen every day, but I love it when it does.
Awesome, awesome. Listen, I'm gonna go back to see if I can send a message to everybody. Chris, why don't you share it with the group, and then I'll bring you guys back in about a minute or two. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. You have 1 minute left. 1 minute left. Okay, people are coming back. Whoa, whoa, there you go. Everyone's coming back. Okay.
I love the creepy voice.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't know you could actually do a voice. I mean, I could have
No,
done
it's
more.
great.
I could
It
have
was
done it.
it was ominous.
Was it? Okay. Well, let's hear from the room. So Melanie Mitchell, why don't you share your room and maybe get someone to speak about what you shared?
Yeah, we talked about why community was important to each of us and what we, what we get from.
Oh, you muted yourself. Melanie, you muted yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna stop touching the computer. So,
There you
like I'm gonna I don't know what I'm doing. That's why I'm not in control of the controls. But no, we talked about why community was important, and again, getting a chance to meet some brand new people, and always get a chance. Always love to be around Ed, of course, and Roseanne, and yeah, it was fun. And I don't know if anybody have a volunteer from our room that wants to just share a little bit about being around and being a part of a community. I think Sunny already shared from the first time, so maybe Lisa.
Sometimes you have to volunteer people.
I know. I was going to say, Lisa McGuire, you had such a great response about just learning from others. I would love for you to share a little bit about that.
All right, well, I'll speak again.
On the spot.
Yes, no, that's great. I haven't done a lot of online networking recently. I got really burned down on it last year. But what I love is you never know where people are going to come from. And I love the diversity of thought and experiences. And when people have a different idea, I always get curious about why do they think that and what is their story behind it. So I think it always opens the story loop for me.
That's awesome. Let's go to Heather. Heather, anybody from your room that wants to maybe share something that was part of the room?
Well, I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but I do like what Therese and Margot had to say about what community means to them. So if either of you would like to share that with the larger group.
Bobby, what I said was basically that well, at least in the Atlanta metro, it's a big area for businesses and entrepreneurship. And as far as networking is concerned, if you don't, you have to, it's who you know. It's who you know, and it's the connections. And so it's good for business, but it's also knowing that especially if you get stuck or something really bad happens and you're like in a business crisis, there's somebody around who can, if they don't know something, they can refer you because in other words, they have your back rather than thinking you're all alone or that everyone's against you. You realize, no, there's actually a community that supports you.
That's great. Thank you so much for that. That's awesome. Well, before I get to my group, I actually want to share a couple things about TLB Club, just if you'll indulge me. So some things that are coming up very, very soon in the TLB Club, but I'm going to go to the website. So this is our website, and basically, we're trying to help people build a better, stronger, more impactful thought leadership personal brand by focusing on 3 key areas. One is knowledge. So teaching you, sharing ideas, learning, sharing articles, bringing in experts, all that kind of stuff to help build our subject matter expertise. Number 2, helping you with your digital voice, whether you're trying to speak better, write, storytell across multiple platforms, better with video, audio rooms, live streams. That's what personal branding is. And then building meaningful relationships, connections, and followers. That's about building influence. So that's kind of what we're doing. And we have some amazing people in our community. And one of the things that people like about the Thought Leadership Brand Club are the people that are here. So we have all these amazing people. I don't know why it's doing it in a role like this, but it has all these amazing people that are in our community that you can learn from and you can talk to and you can listen to and you can share knowledge. And some of these people host rooms, but some of them are part of our community. And we're also doing a lot, and people also get to be part of this WhatsApp group. So here we are, our community WhatsApp group, and we share stuff. We welcome people to our community. And sometimes there's an issue. So like Lynn had an issue with audio events, and so next thing you know, we're all trying to crowdsource and figure it out. And so that's what we did. So that's how we message each other on a regular basis. We have our membership community group on LinkedIn. It's a private community, and there's a welcome here. But we help support people in collaborative articles. We're trying to build our membership here. So we share our events on a weekly basis. So the events, people can share their events in the links below. We'll share the latest the training that we had. Here's the replay, the link, transcripts of the last training that we did. We'll share some wins for every Friday. So and I'll sometimes share a little bit of nuggets of things that are on my mind. That's just for the group. And so, and this is, if you have something you're working on or you need help with, you want help with your profile, help with a sales sheet, help with a negotiation call, help with an interview, you come in here and you ask questions, and we're all here to help you with that stuff. Okay. And I mentioned the master classes. So everyone who's a member gets access to all these master classes. These are just some of the many. Like Richard Moore did an incredible one on sales conversion on LinkedIn. Julie Fox did one on how to build trust online. Ramon Ray did how to work with large brands. Candace Evelyn talked about, how to do DMs and things like that. Krista Molion did power of business clarity. We had a parenting expert come in. We have sales experts. We have, collaboration experts. We have productivity experts. All these people come in the last year and a half. We have over actually 150 different master classes that you can learn from all the people that have come into our rooms over the last year. So this is another benefit that you'll get from being part of the community. And what's coming up for us? Well, in May, we did the event. Tomorrow, our normal room at 4 p.m. is actually at 11 a.m. because Adam Strong is in the UK. And then the week after that, I'm going to do Ask Me Anything. So if you have anything you want to look at or to answer, I can do it. We have some more talks, but the one I really want to tell you is about this live stream that's coming up. Richard Vanderblom, if you know who he is, he's a big dude and well-known person, and also Hannah Morgan. Richard Vanderblom has 180,000 followers. Hannah Morgan has 225,000 followers on LinkedIn. They're both LinkedIn content experts, and they're going to do a live stream with me on Tuesday, and that's going to be an amazing time. And then in June, of course, we have some more events that are coming up, and we basically have an event every single week. And again, one of the reasons why we're doing a network event is because we're doing a drive. And I should mention, I'm getting back to the website, that one of the things that we're trying to do is get people to join us because our price is going up. So right now you get 4 coaching calls a month, you get 4 training sessions a month, you get access to the library, you get access to me, the LinkedIn group, the WhatsApp group, you get access to the 50 people in our group to ask whatever you want and get support on whatever you want and be part of a great community. And right now it's $30 a month or $250 per year. So you can sign up for one of those things before June 1st, before the price goes up to $39 and $397. So just wanted to share that with you guys. I put a lot of my time and energy and effort into it. I'm a big believer in community. And even though I'm part of another community, TLB Club is the one that I really spend a lot of my time on. So you should all know that I'll go to bat for all of you. And there's other people here that will go to bat for you too. And that's one of the things I love about creating such a community here. For me, community is about having a place where you can be yourself, you can be supported, and you can be inspired. Because what happens is you're learning from people, you're being helped by people, and you're feeling like you can actually share your troubles. We've had people in our group over the last year who shared like troubles or challenges, and we get on a call or we talk about it in our weekly calls and help them through it. So that's really what it's all about. So that's what to me community means to me. And as much as I add a lot, like I bring a lot of my expertise to the table, whether it's personal branding, video content, thought leadership, whatnot. But I also get help. People, particularly my big area of help is tech. I'm not really good with tech, so I'm like, Lynn, Seb, how do I do this? We were talking to Tom about WooCommerce. How does WooCommerce work? And so sometimes we have trouble with that, but we have people in the group that can help with those things, right? Or I had trouble with my health journey, and I post on LinkedIn, but I also share with the group about those challenges. So that's to me what community is all about. And I know that we're at the end of the time. I do want to appreciate your time, but I really wanted to open up any questions or comments or things people want to share. I mean, if you have a question about networking, or if you have a question about what this is all about, or you want to share your own thought or insight, or you want to pitch your business or brand, I'm happy to stay on a little bit longer and hear from all of you. So we kept it really short. We didn't want to make a really long networking event. Kept it really short, a couple of breakouts, but I'd love to open up the room to any kind of Q&A or comments.
Yeah, I had a question, Bobby, too, because when I do think of a thought leader, again, I'm not an expert on this too. think of somebody that is an expert or a leader in your industry. So would you say that the TLB Club, is that for people that are, do they have to be like experts and leaders within their industry, or that can be for anyone?
No, I think that what you'll find from our TLB Club is that we have everybody on at all different chapters of their life.
Okay.
So there's people who are beginning their career or beginning their business. There's
Right.
people in the middle of their business career, people who are at the end of their career and they're doing quite well and they want to come
Right.
here and contribute. What I found with the TLB Club is people want to be here for several reasons. One, they want access to the training. Two, they want access to the community. Three, they want access to me. Four, they want to contribute in their own way. And I think those are probably the four biggest reasons why people come to these events.
That makes a lot of sense, because there's a lot of things when people think of the word thought leader that they don't know. So that's why I bring that up. So thank you.
I appreciate it. Anyone else want to share a thought or ask a question?
I like to, Bobby, if I may.
Yeah, Joey, go ahead.
So talk about contributing. I'd like to just remind everybody that the reason we network is because everybody you meet knows 250 people you do not know. And those people know an additional 250 people you don't know. So can you imagine the possibilities once you meet one or two people of who you could be introduced to just by stepping out and coming to a group like this?
The 6 degrees of Joey Himmelfarb. That right?
That's it, yeah.
Coming to a TED Talk stage near you.
Yeah, exactly. It's a TED Talk. We stick it to it. Anyone else want to share anything? Yeah, go ahead, Christopher.
So, all right, I'm an introvert, but I still find comfort in this community. So I'm not looking to be, I will never be the extrovert. And I'm fine with that. But this is a community where I can learn and grow. And as Jory was saying, everyone knows somebody that you don't. So that means you can get perspectives and answers about stuff that you want answers to. Do you have to be an extrovert? Heck no. You can learn quietly by just sitting in the room.
Yeah, I love
Bobby,
that.
I wonder,
Go ahead, Roy.
I wonder if I could maybe just extend a challenge that I gave to the second room that we had a breakout in. I said to them, choose 5 people in this networking group to reach out to say, I'd like to have a conversation. Send them a DM, send them a voice message, send them a video message, and extend the networking to those 5 people to learn more. That's it.
That's great. You know, one of the things you can do is actually you can click the 3 buttons in the chat button there, and you can actually save the chat. So you can actually see people sharing, see the names, and people sharing their links, things like that. So you can save the chat for yourself, and that actually can work for you. Anyone else want to share anything or ask a question?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's Roseanne. I bet everybody experienced this. Kevin Turner wrote me, no, he sent a voice message on LinkedIn thanking me and apologizing for it taking a day or two. And it just felt so good. And it's underutilized, doing a voice message to each other. So anybody who sends me one, thank you in advance. I will reply in voice.
That's a great point, Roseanne. Roy's the king of sending video messages, but some people will also send voice messages. One thing I'll say, though, when you send a voice message or video message, I'll always say, this is a voice message, this is a video message for you, just so they'll see it and they see the text part. But I think that's a great insight for sure for networking. Anybody else want to share anything or ask a question? Or you want to say goodbye, that's fine. You don't want to say goodbye, that's fine. You gotta go. I'm happy to stick around, but listen, thanks so much for your time, guys. Really appreciate you all being here. I'm happy to stick around another 5-10 minutes to answer any questions you have about where you're going, your brand, your business, or whatever it is, career. But thank you everyone for being here. Hope you can check out all the TLB events. I didn't even mention the audio rooms we do every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. You're welcome to come to those things as well. And yeah, just see you out there. And thanks so much for coming by. Really appreciate it. Sandra, go ahead.
So I had a question. So I'm an extrovert that turned into an introvert. How do you put yourself out there? So so I got a lot of feedback out of this, the breakout room. I'm just still a little struggling how that would go about. Is that a question that I would ask in the chat or what?
Well, first off, you're asking here because I'm here, which is fine. But yeah, I mean, any question you have about your career or business or your brand or content, yeah, what you would do is you put it in the LinkedIn group, and then someone would respond to it, and I respond to everything, but other people may also respond as well. But what I can tell you is that I also suffered the same introversion issue, which was during the pandemic. I became a bit of a hermit, and then I remember going 2 years later to Christmas to my mother-in-law's house in BC, on the West Coast, and I proceeded to visit like several different boot groups, people over like 2 days. I got to my mother-in-law's house, and I just popped on the sofa, and I was exhausted, and I was like, "What's wrong with me? Why am I so tired?" And my wife comes over to me, she's an introvert. She's like, "Now you know what it feels like to socialize like that all the time." And I was like, "What? Yeah, I'm so tired." And what I can tell you is that it's a muscle. You're out of practice. So one of the best ways to get back into it is to practice to going out there. So I started with a couple of coffee dates. Then I started going to a larger scale event. But you have to like practice and rebuild that muscle again, and eventually it gets a little bit better. And one of the hardest thing and it's hard to start, but I find that the best way to start is to find someone in your local area that that can trust, maybe a good friend, and go together as your wing person. Go to a live event. It doesn't even matter if it's it could be a concert, it could be a comedy show, it could be a movie, but just getting out there and practicing being out there in public, to me, makes a big difference. Yeah, Bob, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to yes and one
Yeah,
thing that
please.
I've been doing is volunteering.
Oh,
I found a great group not far from where I live that brings students into a working lab and exposes them to science to encourage them. This is middle school and high school students. And the people who run it are wonderful, and they're always happy to have some volunteer help. And it gets me out of the house. It gets me in a social environment. It gets me out of my comfort zone. So I don't know how many volunteer opportunities there are in your area, but I overwhelmingly encourage you to investigate. You may find a perfect situation that helps you. And I always feel better after I've been helping people. So there's that benefit.
that's great insight. Cool. Anybody? I know people have to, if you have to go, you got to go. But again, I want to make sure I stay here to answer any questions people have. But thank you so much for being here. Anybody else have anything they want to share or add or ask a question?
I wanted to say one thing too, because Sandra was saying with the introvert, extrovert too, I found, because I used to do when I did was job searching a while back to in-person networking events to, finding good, like you mentioned too, finding people that are good at it. And when you even going to this networking, watching the people that are doing that are doing very good at it too. And, like you said too, it's really about building that muscle too, as well too. Kind of again, we all kind of have to learn how to practice small talk, but doing that in a way that supports you and not just talk when you do go to an event. Don't just talk about your job, but really build the commonalities, warm up that person, and if you can find smaller events to go, it's a little bit easier than a lot of events too. So you have to make the right events. So that's all. Thank you.
That's a great insight. Thanks so much, Sunny. And Rachel, you've joined us, but we've been here for an hour. We're actually ending, but we do appreciate you coming by briefly to say hello. So thanks so much for coming by. We're actually closing up or at the end here, but anybody have any other questions for me before we take off? Okay. Well, the recording will be available for our members to take a look at, and we'll probably take some snippets of it and share it with the public. But for the most part, thanks so much for being here. Rachel, thanks so much for coming by. Feel free to come by to any of our other rooms. We have a room tomorrow at 11 a.m. So come by to that with Adam Grant. It's going to be a good time. Thanks everybody for being here. Have a great night. Stay safe, and we'll talk soon.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Bye, you guys.
Ciao. Shalom. Arrivederci.